Hey guys, it's Jackie and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I am sharing with you guys swatches of the new Born This Way Super Coverage Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. I got this super awesome, really gigantic PR package from Too Faced Cosmetics not too long ago, and I asked you guys, I think it was on Snapchat, I asked you guys on Snapchat if you wanted to see swatches of every shade, because when I see that a brand comes out with new concealers, I get super excited, but then I get a little, I'm a little hesitant because I'm not sure which shade to buy, especially if I'm ordering online. I feel like it's so hard to tell what it's going to look like on the skin just looking at the packaging. So I find these type of videos really helpful where even if I'm not the same shade as somebody, just seeing it swatched on actual skin is just so much easier to decipher which shade I will be. So hopefully you guys find this video helpful, and if you are interested in hearing more about this brand new concealer from Too Faced Cosmetics and seeing swatches of all the shades, then just keep on watching. But of course, before we jump into the video, if you are new to my channel, hi, my name is Jack. Make sure you hit that red subscribe button and the little bell so that way you are notified of future videos and you officially become part of the Little Flower family. So without further ado, let's jump into the tutorial. Or, oops, it's not a tutorial. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the video. Just check out how huge this package is. And when you open it up, you get all of the shades. Oh my goodness, this was such, Too Faced Cosmetics always sends the coolest PR packages, so I was super excited to try this out. And honestly, when I first saw the packaging, I thought it was a foundation. Look at how gigantic this is. And just for reference, here is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and then here is the new Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. You can see how much bigger this guy is. And for reference, the Tarte Shape Tape is 0.3381 fluid ounces, and the Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer is 0.50 fluid ounces. The packaging looks exactly identical to the Born This Way foundation, which I wish I had to show you, but I no longer have available, but I did used to use that foundation a while back, and I really do like that foundation a lot. So the packaging is identical. This is just kind of like a mini version, but this concealer is multi-use. Like it says, it's supposed to conceal, contour, highlight, and retouch. Just looking at the shade range here, maybe I can do like a better close-up because this is kind of like an awkward angle, but just looking at these shades, just right off the bat, my first observation is that majority of these shades lean more towards the lighter side, and the deeper ranges, there really isn't a ton of variety, which is kind of weird to see, especially since Too Faced Cosmetics recently extended their Born This Way foundation range. They created more deeper shades, so to make it more inclusive for everybody. And who knows, maybe the darkest shade here, which is called Cocoa, maybe this would work for super deep tones, but just my first observation, it kind of doesn't look like that. But again, I'm going to swatch them all on my cheek, so hopefully that gives you guys a better idea of how it's going to actually look when you apply it onto your own skin. And if you do have a deeper skin tone, maybe if you see the darker shade swatch, you'll get a better idea if it will work for you or not. Let me know in the comments which shade you think you might be, just from looking at the swatches in this video. So I guess let's go ahead and just jump into the swatches. Let's go. This first shade is called Swan. This next shade is called Snow. Next we have the shade Almond. So here is a close-up of the first three shades, and these are the lightest ones. Next we have the shade Porcelain. Followed by that we have the shade Vanilla. And now we have the shade Nude. And here is a close-up of these next three shades. Now we're moving more towards the medium shade range, so starting with Golden Beige. Next we have Light Beige. This light beige shade I actually have used before, and this one is a great match for my under eye area. Followed by that we have Natural Beige. And I feel like with my skin tone, I really could get away with using any of these three shades, but the light beige and natural beige, those are the ones that I would go back and forth using the most for like my under eye and my blemishes. So that just gives you an idea of what shades would work for me. So I don't know if that helps any of you guys out. Moving on to the next three, the first one I'm going to start with is Warm Beige. Next we have the shade Sand, and following that we have Warm Sand. And again, just like the rest, here's a close-up of these 3 shades so you can get a better look and idea of the shade. Now we're slowly moving in to the like medium deep skin tones. I wouldn't consider these like just deep because they're still pretty light for a deep skin complexion. But here are the next 4 shades in the range. So first we have Honey. Next we have Butterscotch, followed by Mocha. And then we have Maple. And now moving on to the final 4 shades in this range, which are the deepest shades. And again, I don't think they are that deep. I feel like someone with a deep skin tone or skin complexion, they're gonna have a hard time using this for like highlighting and contouring. But anywho, here they are, starting with Chestnut. Ew. There's a hair on it, and this is the first time I'm ever opening this. Ew. That is so weird. I hope that wasn't like human hair. I hope that was like hair from the sponge or something. Ugh. Next we have Mahogany. Next we have Toffee. And then followed by the deepest shade, Cocoa. Oh my gosh, that looks so rich and like so beautiful. Oh my goodness. Here are the 4 deepest shades in the concealer range. I want to end the video quickly going over like my thoughts on the concealer and all that kind of stuff, but before I do that, I want to do a quick little like first impression test. So I don't have anything on my face, not even foundation, so this is gonna be a little bit different, but I want to try, I'm gonna take these 3 shades. Here I have light beige, warm beige, and chestnut. I want to use these to conceal, highlight, and contour with and see how they do. So with the warm beige, I'm not really using it to highlight anything. This is just purely to conceal. So I feel like this shade is the closest to my actual skin tone. So I want to get around my nose. I got a bunch of freckles. Should I leave them? They're gonna get covered up by the highlight concealer under my eyes. But I do have like some breakouts here. Just little things. I love the applicator. It's huge. It reminds me of the Tarte Shape Tape, which I love. And then I'm going to take a damp beauty blender and I'm going to blend this baby into my skin. Let's see how it does. Ooh, that's full coverage. That is full coverage, all right. That amount I applied onto my face is literally covering my entire face right now. Wow. It looks really good and it feels good too. I feel like if I were to do this with any other concealer and try to use my concealer as foundation, it would just be too thick and too drying. But this feels really nice actually. I always like to pick a concealer that's a little bit lighter than my natural skin color to highlight with. So that's why I'm going in with the light beige. I'm going to place this under my eye. Oh, I just love how creamy it is, and this applicator is just so gigantic. Like, it is just like perfection. This is such full coverage. Like, oh, wow. I'm gonna go over my eyelid too. Look at how that just brightens up the under eyes. Because you guys saw before this, I don't have super dark under eyes, but I mean, it's a little dark. But look at how bright my under eyes look now. Wowzers. Did I just officially become an old person because I just said wowzers? I think I did. Now let's go in with contour. We're gonna try that chestnut shade that I mentioned to you guys during the swatches. Hopefully this works. I'm gonna take a little bit off. I'm gonna start with a little at a time because I'm a little nervous. I don't normally contour with concealers, so let's see how this goes. Oh my gosh, please blend. I'm scared now. I think that was way too dark. It's blending nicely, but I don't think that was the right shade for me. Luckily, I'm not going out after this video, so I can look a tiny bit crazy. It's okay. That looks nice, but I think it's just like a tad too dark, so let me grab a different shade. I wonder if Mocha will be a better fit for my skin tone, so let's try this on this side. Oh, this is a little too orangey now. Okay, contouring with the concealer is one thing I'm gonna have to practice to get the hang of. This is the lighter shade, but for some reason it just looks worse. This side is looking a little better. I'm gonna take the shade Honey to contour my nose. Let's see how that works. Maybe this is the winner right here. Let me keep blending, but as far as the shade goes, I kind of like it actually. I think I found my contour shade. And I just want to also do a little comparison. This is the Born This Way Naturally Radiant Concealer, and then the Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. So you can see the difference. They do have similar packaging, but again, this one is closer and more similar to the foundation, the Born This Way foundation. But just so you don't get confused, yes, Too Faced Cosmetics has two different kinds of Born This Way concealers. So now that I have used both of these, just to give you a quick little rundown, the Naturally Radiant Concealer, their older one, this one is a lot more watery and lighter coverage. It's like perfect for a super natural look if you don't want anything too crazy, too full coverage. This is definitely not a full coverage concealer. It has like decent coverage, but I like to use this more for the highlighting purposes because it is more of like a lighter, more watery concealer. Blends out super easy. This one is a little bit thicker, but super like hydrating at the same time. Like hydrating, super rich and creamy, and blends out super nice as well. But this definitely has amazing coverage, and a little goes a long way. It's not as watery, like I said, it's thicker than this guy over here. So there's a little breakdown of these two concealers. I'm actually super excited to continue using these and trying them out. I really want to practice getting better at using these concealers to contour with. I feel like I always use concealer to highlight or cover blemishes, so that's like a piece of cake. But using concealers to contour with, that's something I am not so used to, so I want to practice and get a little better with that. Whew. I feel like zoomed out you can definitely tell how crazy the contouring looks right now with these like super deep shades. Let me know in the comments which shade would match you best for your complexion, and would you use these concealers, like would you buy multiple shades to use for highlighting, concealing, and contouring? Let me know. And if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up and let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!